Hi, my name is Alvire Boulet and I'm from the Dimitrov Boulet piano duo. Recently, I had a rehearsal with Dimitar and it actually didn't go well at all. I didn't play well, I was not able to keep up, and it was because I was doing something wrong in my practice. And that gave me the idea for today's video. In today's video, I'm gonna give you 4 different types of students according to what practice tempo they have. So what tempos they're used to practicing. And I'll also let you know what type I am. I'm immediately moving on to type number 1. And I'm naming this first because this type of student is the most common. Type number 1 is the student that practices only fast. All the time fast. If you practice all the time fast, you know, you've heard us say it before, you're gonna get sloppy playing, you're gonna get a stiff technique, is not good. So, if you are type number 1, the student that practices only fast all the time, then try to put the metronome. I know that people associate the metronome with trying to play faster and faster, but actually it's a great tool to use also if you wanna not rush, if you wanna keep the tempo down. And so use the metronome and write down the slower tempo that you need to practice in order to, after that, treat yourself and allow yourself to go fast again. So that was type number 1, the student that always practices fast. On to type number 2, the polar opposite. We also see the student that practices only slow. So it's really difficult to get these students to actually train their reactions. I know you hear us say that you have to practice slow, you hear us say that a lot, but only practicing slow is also not good. Because especially, you know, with a slow piece, it's all right, but a piece that has, you know, allegro tempo or presto tempo or prestissimo, you're not gonna cut it, you're not gonna get there, you're not gonna be able to perform this piece if you don't also practice fast. So for you, actually kind of the same tip if you are student number 2, you're practicing only slow, kind of the same tip as student number 1, which is use the metronome. But instead of using the metronome to keep yourself in line, to keep yourself controlled, you will use the metronome to, you know, just kind of improve your reactions, just push yourself to go faster and faster. Now, a little note, this will feel uncomfortable. If you're used to practicing slow and easy, this is gonna feel uncomfortable for you. And I'll let you in on a little secret, I'm type 2. I don't always practice like only slow, but I do catching myself not pushing my reactions to the limit, not pushing them up and up and up, which is why the rehearsal actually went bad, because Dimitar played in a very high tempo and I couldn't keep up because I was just practicing really relaxed, you know? And here's a little tip, this type of student, type number 2, the one who practices slow all the time, you would find it difficult to push yourself. So, you know, put the metronome on a tempo you're kind of uncomfortable with and add a little bit, because by nature you'd probably not put the metronome high enough. The point is to stretch your reactions, to stretch them out, to get in a little bit of a higher tempo. So try to push yourself, try to challenge yourself. Okay, so when I was thinking about this video, I actually initially thought like, okay, so we just have these 2 types, you know, you have the students that practice too fast, you have the students that practice too slow. Any guesses, by the way, on how that percentage is? It's, you know, a large amount practices too fast compared to a very small amount actually that practices too slow. So a big chance that you who are watching, you're probably category 1. But I realized actually after, you know, thinking about these different types, I first thought only type 1 and 2, too fast and too slow. But actually we also encounter students of type 3, which are students that that practice on the same tempo everything. So if I ask such a student to play a little slower, he or she will play the exact same tempo. And if I will ask this student to play a little faster, it will still be the exact same tempo. And this is actually, it sounds funny, but actually being aware of tempo is not that easy, especially because when you're playing the piano, you're busy with a lot of things. You're busy with a lot of notes, you're busy with technical aspects, you're busy with musical aspects, you're busy with probably with the pedal as well. So it's not that strange that you're not that aware of what tempo you're playing in. And no matter if you're type 1, 2, or 3, because we're talking about tempo, of course, my next tip is going to be use the metronome. Use the metronome to make sure that you do practice in different tempi. And I think what is very important for all type of students, but especially type number 3, is to write down what tempi you're playing in. Write it down, keep a practice diary. If you haven't seen that video, watch the video and apply what you learn from the video. So type number 3, definitely every single student would benefit from writing down what they do every day in their practice. But especially type 3, if you struggle with even realizing what is a fast tempo, what is a slow tempo, then definitely practice with the metronome all the time until you feel very confident that you are aware, you're becoming more aware of different tempos. Okay, so I already told you 3 types of students. 3 types of students who have different practicing habits as far as tempo goes. And I also already gave you a little secret. What practice type am I? I'm practice type number 2, taking it a little bit too relaxed sometimes. So I'm going to reveal the final type of student. But the final type of student is a bit elusive because type number 4 is the student that practices in every kind of tempo. That means that this student practices in slow, practices in middle tempo, practices in fast tempo, tries to stretch those limits, tries to look for those limits and go beyond them. This is the type 4 is the perfect student. And if you are this student, and you don't just think you are this student, right? But you really are, keep going the way you're going. And remember, practice is something that you can always improve. So if you have great practice habits as far as tempo is concerned, try to see if you can get good practice habits in all areas, in all the other areas as well. Technical, musical, you can always improve your practice. You can watch many videos. For example, we have a lot of videos on practice. There's a lot of great pianists out there, also a lot of great pianists on YouTube that you can explore, see what they're talking about as far as practice is going. But Dimitar and I definitely, we focus a lot on practice because we believe, and it's true, how you practice is how you play. So if you are playing on stage or in front of your friends or just for yourself and something is lacking, you're not happy with something, for example, it's sloppy or it's slow or whatever it can be, you're not happy with something, the root of that lies in your practice. So if you are type number 4, the perfect student in as far as tempo is concerned, go and explore other areas that you can improve in your practice. I hope this video was helpful for you. I think the conclusion is whatever type you are, practice with the metronome and write things down. I think that's maybe what you can take away from this. But I also think an important aspect is always realization, like reflection, So I think the realization, just thinking to yourself, what practice type am I? Do I have the tendency to go too fast? Do I have the tendency to go too slow? I think that's already really beneficial just to have you thinking. So it was a great pleasure to make this video for you, and I will see you next time.